Told you.
Was that 10 minutes?
It was 10 minutes.
Oh, that was really good. Get us on a roll.
Yeah, that's all it takes. You got two. Do you want me to just snag one?
I don't know.
Oh, no, now you still have two.
Oh, okay.
They were just right on top.
Keep the one that's closest to me.
The one that's
because
facing
it says GA. Gambling. Ho ho! Oh, why do you put gambling in there?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh man, I'm like very well aware of gambling.
I know you are. I know you're very familiar with it.
Yes.
Yeah. So where would you like to go with this one?
Well, we own a lottery booth, so we're well aware of gambling. The reason why we bought the lottery booth is because we figured we're great people.
Okay.
And we will bring great things to anything we do.
Okay.
And our main purpose is to have people have a great day.
Okay.
And if they're going to be doing that anyways, they're going to be doing it with us, and we're going to have them have a great day. And the other thing is a lot of older people or a lot of people with disabilities of many forms do tend to gamble quite a bit.
Okay.
And it's nice for them to have the continuity of the same people, you know, that sort of thing. The other thing I think is gambling, which some people don't agree, is the whole cryptocurrency that's out now. And people are like, oh, I'm going to take a whole bunch of money from my house and throw it onto my cryptos. And, you know. Like,
right, yeah. So I think that cryptocurrencies could be gambling, but they could also not be gambling. It depends on your approach, right?
Exactly.
Well,
everything can be gambling and not be gambling.
That's right.
You go on a date, that's kind of a gamble. you could, if you're a woman, you could end up like abused, raped, die, you know, like things could happen.
Yeah.
Life is a gamble.
Yeah, well, and you could, if you're on a... Anyways, that could happen to anybody on a date, right? Especially if you don't know the person.
Yeah.
That's fine. You could end up with terrible things. But hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. Hopefully it's a good thing.
But to me, gambling is kind of where any situation where you are hoping there's a potential big return with a very small
you're getting something for nothing.
Right. Yeah. It's that idea of the dream of getting something with nothing. Right?
Yeah.
And I think that's if you really believe in that, that's bad. Right? If you really believe that you should be able to get something for nothing, that's a bad belief.
Is it? Is it really?
I think it is, because what it does is it will erode the value of work.
Yeah. The automation is coming. So how much do we need to work?
As humanity.
Humanity. I'm talking as humanity. How much do we need to work? Bucky Fuller had this idea long time ago that, you know, we don't need to make up jobs for people just to have them work, to make menial amounts of money so they won't get by in life. Like...
Right. Well, I believe that there's no reason for us to have people do menial labor that can be done
by a machine. Why would you do
There's
that?
no reason for that.
Yeah.
But work, it can be more broad than that, right? So for some people, work is drawing pictures.
Yeah.
Right? or painting.
I know
or
people
some
like
people
that.
work is sitting and chatting, and some people work is telling jokes. Some people, you know, there's all these different things. And for some people, work is digging a ditch.
Yeah. Well, if it needs to happen, it needs to happen.
Catching a rat. You know, these are things that are work for different people. And so what I think is that everyone needs to do work.
Yeah.
And hopefully get return on that work, right? But that work can be all kinds of things.
Yeah, but a fair return for everybody would be nice.
Ideally a fair return, yes.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie?
But that's what fair also... having someone, say, win the lottery, for example, and get millions of dollars isn't necessarily fair either.
Well, is it not? People pay, like, I know people that have put money in since they were teenagers.
Well, sure.
Every week. I mean, so they, you know.
Well, and maybe...
Will that money ever come back to them? I don't know. They're hoping. They're hoping.
The statistics would say probably not.
Probably not.
But some people do. But it could be, like, is it fair then if someone buys a ticket every week their whole lives, ever since they're old enough to do it.
Yeah, and they never win.
They never win, and someone else gets one as a Christmas
First
present.
time, and they win.
They win the big bucks, right?
Yep.
And that's, I mean, that is, according to the rules, is fair.
Totally
this
fine.
is what you've agreed on.
Yeah.
I think in the grand scheme of the universe, it feels unfair. I don't think it's right.
Yeah.
And so I don't gamble, or I do my very best to avoid.
Oh, I don't know if I can say that. I don't gamble either. But Dave gambles. My husband does.
But it's one of those things that I think it just erodes the value of work. And I think that for humans, and actually I would argue probably for all species, intelligent species, that work has value to our souls.
Right. Well, I like that. I was watching a YouTube video about Japanese culture and how they are brought up to make sure that other people are looked after.
Okay.
So when they go up, in America, it's suggested that you go on the right-hand side of the escalator and stay there so that the people that want to walk quicker can go up.
Fast,
And in Japan, this happens. In America, we just take it all over. We got somebody coming up and we move over and we're like, So it's like the thought isn't always there. When we're driving down the road, we don't always look to see who needs to go where. If somebody needs to go that way, I'm going to scooch up a little bit so that there's room for them to turn right.
Sure, yeah, behind you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I won't tell you what my son says when I do that, because he's like, just look them all, Mom. And I'm like, but, because when he's in the car and I'm driving him to work, seems to be that when I let somebody in, it totally screws me up. Like they go too slow. Now I'm not getting where I need to be,
Sure.
So I've done a nice thing for them and now it's not working in my favor.
Okay.
Right? But strangely enough, when I'm on my own or I'm with my daughter and we do this, life goes nice. So I think your own perception of life really colors how things occur.
Oh, yeah. Well, the same things could happen, but your perspective can be completely different.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I drive a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I will...
Do you enjoy driving?
It's fine.
Yeah.
I probably drive 20 hours a week.
So you don't find it totally frustrating?
No. If it was, I would have quit my job a long time ago.
Yeah, right?
Because it's half of the job is driving around.
Right.
And I try to be reasonably polite but at the same time without yielding right-of-way or breaking the law. Right? Because sometimes people will yield their right-of-way just for silly reasons.
Yeah.
Right? People will stop when they're not supposed to stop to let you in. And it's just like, well... If
they shouldn't do that.
That's right.
That could cause an accident.
That could cause an accident. We could both end up
Nobody expects
hurt.
it.
And if you stop or you wave me on or something and then I go and you have right-of-way and then something happens, it's my fault.
Yeah.
It's not your fault for being overly polite.
Right.
It's my
Canadian.
fault because
Canadian.
because I broke the rule.
Right.
Because you yielded. And even if, say, I'm driving along and you want to turn right onto the road in front of me and I wave you on and I don't stop and you go and I just crash into you, it's still your fault.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, I can't go if you're there. Yeah. But at the same time, like if, say, on Wilkinson where it gets all backed up, right? Yeah. And I'm sitting in the lane and someone's behind me wants to turn right to get off the road.
Yes.
I'll do my best to scooch up so they can
but what I really
but at the same time, but not block the person turning left
or the bike lane. The bike lane is there. The bike lane is there, people. Like, I know you don't want the bike lane to be there, but the bike lane is there. And so these people that are moving over and sitting in the bike lane because they want to be able to turn right.
Yeah. So
or I'm waiting my turn and then somebody behind me because I'm gonna go straight too. Yeah. Right? But I wait my turn, but then they go out and go in front of me and they're going where I want to go. I'm like, you can't do that.
Yeah, that's not okay.
Rip your head off.
What are you doing?
It's funny. I have reactions when I'm driving. I love driving.
Yeah.
I absolutely love driving. I'm not looking forward to the self-driving cars, but it's fine. A lot of young people don't drive, so that's okay. A lot. So I love driving and I do get a little bit upset and I love to watch my own reactions. I'm very self-aware.
Yeah.
And so I find my reactions interesting and funny. I like to be the one in front. So if there's two spaces and I'm here and there's a space there, I'll move over just because I want to take up the space. I want to be first.
Yeah.
Right? And so this lady in this convertible with this blonde-haired lady, it was old-fashioned convertible, and I did that, and she was behind me, and I guess she wanted to turn right. So she's like, honk, honk, honk. And I just flipped her the bird. I'm like,
I'm here now.
I'm like normally a nice person, but I was like, no way, man, you're not going to get to do this.
So I'm here now.
It's like I'm in a movie,
Forget
you
about
know,
it.
like you watch movies, and I was like, I was just playing a role in a movie, like, screw off, lady.
Yeah, to me, when you're driving, and I think it's the same when people interact on the internet, is that there's that certain degree of separation from everyone else.
Yes.
That really brings out the worst of everybody.
Yes.
You know, like if you're sitting chatting to that person, you'll be so nice to them and no problems and you like them and all that stuff. But now they're driving behind you and did something you don't like, they're the worst person in the world.
I was driving in front of, it's not a grocery store anymore, but you know where there's a coffee shop on the corner.
Okay.
Oh, man!
Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Okay, so the coffee shop on the corner, and I'm driving, and there's this guy in a truck behind me, and I'm looking in the rearview mirror, and I can see him looking at something on his phone, and it's like, he's like, awesome. So something's got his attention on his phone. Right? And his wheels are still moving behind me. So I pull up my emergency brake. I should never do this. Pull up my emergency brake, get out of my car. I need you to get off the phone.
Yeah.
He says some not nice things to me. And so then I get back in my car and driving down the road, and I'm putting my ticker on because I got to turn into my road to go. And I'm like, maybe I shouldn't drive to my own house, right? So, anyways, he does not slow down. He goes faster, and I'm thinking I better get out of his way. So I get out and I call the cops, which happens to be my friend who answers the telephone on the other line, and she says to me, you know, this guy might have been a really nice guy. He might have opened the door for somebody today, but because he's in a car, people turn crazy. They just act differently.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So
absolutely.